Hey guys, Melissa here with Lovable Loops. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet a corner-to-corner crochet lovey. I have designed this heart lovey, so we're going to be making a pixel graph, and I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to do this. You're going to need worsted weight yarn in 2 colors. I'm using pink and white, and you're going to need an I 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I will have the link for this graph for you to print out so that you can follow along down below in the notes. You'll also want a ruler, a pen or a pencil, and then a marker. Okay, so when you crochet a corner-to-corner graph, you're going to start, and this is how I do it. I'm sure there's different ways of doing it, but this is how I do it, and it always works out very well. You're going to be starting here with this first square in the bottom right-hand corner, and we'll be working back and forth all the way across. So we'll be increasing until we get to here. So this is going to obviously be the widest point of our graph. And after that, we'll begin decreasing to reach the other corner. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to show you how to change colors and how to carry your yarn with you, because you're going to need the white on both ends. And we're going to go ahead and go through that step by step. Okay, so when I do a corner-to-corner graph, I like to use my ruler, and I like to draw my lines and then mark the dots as I complete them. So the squares, when we're working this first square here, I'm going to go ahead and just use my ruler to draw a line there. I'm going to go ahead and draw the first few because I'm going to show you how to do the first few rows all at once. So I'm just drawing a line here. Now, a lot of times when you're working, especially if you're going to put your piece down and come back to it later, you might not be sure which direction you're working in. I like to draw the lines on my graph. So when I draw a line that starts here and extends past, that means I'm working in that direction, and that's just a good note to me, a visual reminder that I'm working in that direction. And then if I'm working the other way, I like to draw an arrow. I usually just extend the line a bit, but the arrow will help remind you that you're working in that particular direction. So all of this will make more sense once we get started. So we're going to begin with our white color. So go ahead and grab your white yarn. Okay. And you're going to begin with a slip knot. Okay, and then you are going to chain 5. Okay, in that third chain from your hook, you're going to make a double crochet. And then you're going to double crochet in that next chain, and again in the last chain. Okay, so we have our 3 double crochet. This is your first square. So you can set that down, and I like to just put a dot. So I have completed my first square. To begin the next row, I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to turn my work. And I'm going to, once again, crochet in that third chain, double crochet in that third chain from my hook. Okay, so this is the first square of my second row, but I need to connect it to the first row. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to find that chain space and slip stitch to connect the two. So I'm going to insert my hook into that chain space, I'm going to pull my yarn through and then pull it through that loop on my hook. That is a slip stitch. So now these two squares are connected. I'm going to chain 2, and in that same space there, I'm going to make 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can see now we have our first 2 rows completed. Now when we're just working with one color, it is hard to know which direction we're working in, but this was this first square here, and these 2 squares that we just completed, we were working in that direction, and this will be more important later when we're switching colors. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those 2. I have completed the first 2 rows of my pixel graph. Okay, so now to begin the next row, you're going to chain 5. When you are increasing, so until we get to here, after we get to these rows, finish these rows, and we'll be decreasing. Until then, for all of these, at the beginning of each row, you will start with a chain 5. So go ahead and chain 5. Turn your work. In that third chain from your hook, you're going to double crochet. Double crochet in the next 2 chains. You'll have 3 double crochet. Okay, so we have just completed the first square for row 3, which is this square. Now again, we need to connect this square here to our work. So you're going to find that chain space from that square that's right here. Insert your hook. Pull the yarn through, so you're connecting it with the slip stitch. So you just pull the yarn through the chain space, through the loop on your hook, and now you'll chain 2. And in that same chain space, you're going to make 3 double crochet. Okay, and now, again, we need to connect that square to the next one. So we've completed for row 3, the first square and the second square. Now we need to connect the second square to the third square. So again, you'll always do this the same way. You find that chain space, insert your hook, pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. You're connecting it with a slip stitch. And once again, you will chain 2 and make 3 double crochet in that same space. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so you have just completed row 3. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to mark my my line for row 4. Okay, so once again, I'm beginning a new row, so I'm going to begin with a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work. You're going to make a double crochet in that third chain from your hook. So those last 2 chains, remember this was a chain 5. You're double crocheting in 3 of the chains, so the other 2 chains are your turning chain. So go ahead and double crochet in those next 2 chains. So each of these squares, or you can also call them tiles, are essentially made up of a chain 2 and 3 double crochet. That's what we have here. We have our 3 double crochet plus that 2 extra chains. Now we need to connect this to row 3. So you're going to find that chain space, insert your hook, yarn over and pull that yarn right through. Okay, so we've connected it with a slip stitch. Now to begin my next tile, I'm going to chain 2, and in that same chain space, I'm going to work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we have completed the first 2 tiles of row 4. Okay, and again, to connect that to the next one, you're going to join it with a slip stitch, and then once again chain 2. Make 3 double crochet in that same chain space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we've completed our third tile. Now for the last tile, once again, I'm going to join with the slip stitch in that chain space, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet in that same chain space. Okay, row 4 is complete. And once you start working, sometimes I think it's a really good idea at the end of each row, especially when there are the rows are longer, just to quickly count. So we should have 4 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because sometimes if you put your work down and come back to it, you might think you've already joined, and things happen where you might accidentally skip over a tile, and then the rest of your graph will be off. So it's definitely worth it to take the time to just quickly count to make sure that you're on track. Okay, so for row 5, I'm going to draw my line here. Okay, once again, each row begins with a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work. You're going to double crochet in the 3rd chain from your hook. Okay, and then in the next 2 chains, okay, I'm going to find that chain space from that tile right here. Insert your hook, yarn over, and pull that yarn all the way through to connect the 2. You're joining them with a slip stitch, chain 2, and you're going to make 3 double crochet in that same chain space. Okay, so we have completed the first 2 tiles of row 5. Join to the next tile with a slip stitch, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So we've completed 3 tiles. Join with a slip stitch, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Okay, join with the slip stitch, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we were working in this direction, so this is what our work looks like. Okay, so these are the tiles that we have completed. So once again, it's always good to count. So we should have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can mark those off, and we just worked this way. So now for row 6, we'll be working from left to right in an upward direction. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. Okay, and I'm going to chain 5. Turn my work, and I'm going to double crochet in that 3rd chain from my hook and in the next 2 chains. And you're going to join your work to that next tile with a slip stitch, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet in that same chain space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is what your work looks like. You're going to join to the next tile with a slip stitch. And when I say next tile, what I mean is you're joining it to the tile that's from the row before. So you're joining it to that tile from the previous row to make the tile for this current row that you're working on. So you join with a slip stitch, chain 2, and then you make your 3 double crochet in that same chain space. 2, 3. Okay, so we have completed 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can mark those off. Okay, join with a slip stitch, chain 2, make 3 double crochet. Okay, join with a slip stitch, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Okay, join with a slip stitch, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Okay, so we were working in this direction. So this is what my work looks like. So I should have 6 tiles. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to draw my next line for row 7. Okay, go ahead and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work, double crochet in that 3rd chain from your hook. And in the next 2 chains, okay, join that tile with a slip stitch, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Okay, join to the next tile with a slip stitch, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Join, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Join, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Join, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Join, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. Okay. All right, we have completed row 7. We were working in this direction. So we should have 7 tiles. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go ahead and mark those off on your chart. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, to begin row 8, I'm going to use my ruler and draw my line. We are now working in the other direction. Okay. Something over here is shaking, making noise, sorry. Okay, go ahead and chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double crochet in that third chain from your hook. Two, 3. Join with the slip stitch. Chain 2. And make 3 double crochet. Okay, go ahead and join. Chain 2, make 3 double crochet. Join, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Join, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. Join, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, join, chain 2, and then make 3 double crochet. Join, chain 2, make 3 double crochet. Okay. All right, we just completed row 8. We were working in that direction. We should have 8 tiles. Let's count them and check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead and mark those off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So for rows 9, 10, 11, and 12, let me check that real quick. I'm going to mark off the next few rows. So this is going to be row 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the next few rows off camera just to make this video a little bit shorter. So go ahead and complete the next 4 rows. You're not changing colors, so I'll do all of the heart with you. But the next 4 rows, you're just going to continue using your white. Remember, at the beginning of each row, you're going to chain 5, and then you'll have chain 2 and 3 double crochet in each tile. And I highly recommend that at the end of each row, just quickly count to make sure that you have the correct amount of tiles. And then I will meet back up with you to begin row 13, and that is the first row where we will begin to use the pink yarn. Okay, so I will be back with you shortly. Okay, so I just completed row 12. I have 12 tiles, and now I'm going to begin row 13, and this is the first row where we are going to be using our pink color. So let's go ahead and draw our line for row 13. And from here on out, it is very important to know exactly which direction you are working in. So this is where it really comes in handy to have those lines or arrows. So we're going to be working down to the left. Draw my line. And the reason this is important is because it'll tell you, you'll know exactly how many of which color that you're going to be using, okay? So here we can see that our first 2 tiles are going to be white. And then we're going to be making some pink tiles and then ending with 2 white tiles. So because we need the white at the beginning and at the end, I'm going to show you how to carry that white yarn with you while you're crocheting the pink tiles, okay? Okay, so to begin row 13, just like the rest of the rows, you're going to begin with your chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, double crochet in that 3rd chain and in the next 2, so you'll have 3 double crochet. Okay, this is our first tile, but we need 2 white tiles, so you're going to join with the slip stitch, chain 2, and make your 3 double crochet. Okay, so we are working in this direction. We have completed those first 2 white tiles. Okay, so now we need to join our pink. Now, when you're joining yarn or changing colors, it is very important that you join the new color behind the color you're currently using. So this is the front of my graph, okay? As you can see here, this is the front. This is the back, okay? This is the front here. When I join my pink, I'm not going to join it. Okay, you do not want to do it like that because now the pink is in front of the white. You want to join it behind. Okay, so you want this white yarn in the front and then join your pink yarn in the back. Okay, it'll be a little loose at first, but that's okay. Go ahead and, so you're basically just put a loop onto your hook and pull it through. So now you have your pink yarn on your hook, okay? And you have the white in the front. You can just hold on to that yarn tail. Now we need to join this tile to our next tile, just like every other tile we have done. I'm going to use my pink yarn to make my slip stitch, but when I do that, I am going to work over this white yarn. That way I'm carrying it with me while I'm crocheting. So here's what that looks like, okay? So I'm using my pink yarn, I'm gonna make my slip stitch. So I have my white yarn there. So the white yarn is over top. I pull the pink yarn through to make my slip stitch. You're going to want to tighten everything up. Go ahead and pull on all of your ends. Okay. Chain 2. just like every other tile. And now when I make my 3 double crochet in that chain space, I'm working over the white yarn, which is going to carry it up to the next tile. And I'll do that all the way down. That way when I get to the end of the pink, I have my white yarn with me. Okay? So you're going to go ahead and make your double crochet and just let that white yarn just sit right on top of that tile from the previous row. Okay? Three. Okay, you can set that down. And so we just created our first pink tile. Okay, so this is what it looks like from the front. This is what it looks like from the back. Okay, and now that we have done the first tile and joined that, it really doesn't matter if the white yarn. You can just, as long as you are crocheting over the white yarn, it doesn't really matter if it's, I would just leave it in the back like that now. Okay, so we need to join again. So we're going to join with the slip stitch. Let's go ahead and join, and that white yarn is just hanging out right over top. It's just going along. Pull your pink yarn through, chain 2, and you're going to make 3 double crochet into that chain space, and you're just working right around over, and I don't even know if that over, under. That white yarn is just in the middle of those crochets there, you can see. Okay, so I'm crocheting into that chain space, and that white yarn is coming along with me. 2, 3. Now you might notice stuff like that happening. It's okay. Just set your work down. And this is the back side, and then gently tug on that white yarn to make sure that that line is just staying straight. Now you don't want to pull too tight, because look what would happen. You could end up cinching it. You don't want to cinch it. You want it to just go along naturally, like you just laid it down. Okay, so and this is basically what you're doing. Basically the yarn's just being laid down and you're just crocheting over it. That way when you get down here, when you need your white yarn, you have it. Okay, so gently tug on it so that it's nice and snug, but you don't want it too tight. Okay, all right, so we just made our second pink tile. Okay, once again, you're going to join to that next tile, chain 2, and make your 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Join again. Chain 2 and make your 3 double crochet. Okay. So we have made 4 pink tiles. So let's see how many we need all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need to keep going until we have 9 pink tiles. Go ahead and join. Make sure the white yarn stays with you. Okay, my husband's home. He's working on a project with power tools. Oh, that's what you're hearing. Chain 2 and make 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Join, keeping that white yarn with you. Chain 2, 3 double crochet. You can lay it down. Look at that. That's okay. It's easy to fix. Just gently tug on that white yarn so it's nice and straight. join, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. One, two, three. Join, chain 2, and make 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Okay, gently tug on that white yarn so it's nice and straight. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need one more pink tile. Okay, join, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, all right, so we are done with the pink. Okay, so we have our 2 white tiles, 9 pink, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see that now we need 2 white tiles. We do not carry the pink with us because we don't need the pink down here. We're going to leave the pink where it is, okay? And here's how you're going to do that. Remember I told you, whatever color you're currently working with, that color stays in the front when you do the join, and the new color is joined behind it. So here's what you will not do. You will not do this to get your white, because the white is then in front of the pink. What you want to do is you want to have this pink yarn in front of it when you join. Join your white yarn, and then you can push the pink to the back and leave it back there. Just leave it right there. You can tighten it up, but it does not, just leave it right here, and we will, for the next row, it'll be there when we need it, okay? So now I have my white yarn on my hook. I joined it behind the pink. I'm going to join with a slip stitch. Okay, and now I want to go ahead and just quickly tighten these yarns up. Okay. I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to make my 3 double crochet. Okay, and then again, join, chain 2, and make your 3 double crochet. All right, so we just completed our first row with the pink yarn. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mark off those last 2 tiles that I made there. So row 13 is done. Okay, and then this is what it looks like from the front, and this is what it looks like from the back. So you can barely see that white yarn moving along, and honestly that is not going to stand out. So it's almost like it's reversible, okay? All right, so now for the next row, draw your line. Now we're working in the opposite direction. And here's a really good example of why it's important to keep track. We are starting this row with 3 white and ending with 1 white. So if I was confused and I did this row the opposite way, I would have 1 white tile and then I wouldn't end up making a heart with the pink because everything would be off. So it's important to keep track of that. So we're going to begin with our 3 white tiles. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start with our chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make those 3 double crochet. you're going to join with a slip stitch. Okay, so we made our first tile. To make the second tile, chain 2, make your 3 double crochet, 1, okay, we made the first 2 the next row. Join with a slip stitch, chain 2, and make your 3 double crochet. Okay, I'm a little worried that I may have misspoke earlier when I was explaining how to join the yarn, because we were working on the right side. So the right side is the side of the piece that is facing you. It's the side that you know, the correct side of it. While it will be pretty reversible, the right side is always the nicer looking side, okay? So when we joined the yarn on this side, we wanted the current color to be in the front, that way you wouldn't see any joining seams. So now that we are working on the back side, you want to do it the opposite way. So because I don't want you to see the pink being joined, you're going to join the pink in the front. That way all of the messy stuff stays on the back side, and it'll look cleaner from the front, okay? So now that we are working on the wrong side, you are going to join the pink in front of the white. So the new color will be joined in front of the color that you were working with, okay? So now I'm going to send it to the back, leave that white yarn there, and join the pink in front of it, okay? I've joined my pink yarn. And now I'm going to slip stitch to the next square. And again, you're going to be bringing the white with you back up, because we're going to need it back up here, okay? So I joined my pink yarn in front of the white, and then I joined with a slip stitch to that next tile there, okay? So go ahead and tighten up. And once again, you're going to be working right over that white. So you're doing everything still the same. You join, chain 2, make 3 double crochet, but now we're using the pink and we are working over the white. And we're carrying the white right along with us. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this again is the back side. And you'll continue doing that same thing, gently tugging on the white to carry it along with you. So you can see from the front, you don't see how it was joined here. Whereas from the back, it just looks a little messier. Hold on, let me see if I can show you closer. So this is the wrong side. So when we joined, we had the white in the front, or excuse me, the pink in the front, okay? But from this side, from the correct side, we had the current color that was there. The first color was in front of the pink. The pink was in front, if you from the back side point of view. So you can see how it just gives it a different look. So this is definitely much cleaner. I'm sorry if that's confusing. I'll continue explaining that as we do more rows. Okay, so now again, join to the next tile. Make sure you don't leave the white yarn there. If we didn't need the white, we would just move it to the side and keep working, but we need it to come with us because we still need to use it at the end. So make sure it stays with you. So join, chain 2, and make your 3 double crochet in that same chain space there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and look, you can see it, but if you just gently tug on it to keep it straight, it's not as visible. Okay, go ahead and join to the next tile. Chain 2, make your 3 double crochet. Just keep going. And let's just count real quick to make sure. So let's mark off, we made those 3 white. 1, 2, 3. And let's see how many pink we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna end up with 10 pink tiles. Okay, so just keep going until you have your 10 pink tiles, and then I will show you again how to switch back to the white. Okay, so you're joining, chaining 2, make 3 double crochet. I'm going to tug on that white yarn. Again, careful not to tug it too tight. Okay, I think I need one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do one more pink. Join. Chain 2. 3 double crochet. Okay. All right, so now I have my 10 pink tiles. I'm going to mark those off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I have one more tile for this row that is pink. Now again, we are working the wrong side, which means my new color will be in front. That way from the right side it looks neater. So I'm joining my white yarn in front of the pink. Okay, you see how it's in front? That's because I'm working the back side with the wrong side facing me, okay? And then I don't want to leave the pink in the front. I'm gonna just move it this way because I want it to stay on the back side. I am not taking it with me because I don't need it up here. When we get back in the next row, the pink yarn will be here. Okay, so go ahead and join, chain 2, and make your 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and go ahead and join. Okay, so that was our last tile for this row. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, do you see that? I made a mistake there. Okay, so this is a good example of why it's really important to make sure that you're counting all of your tiles. I started here with my 3 white. And then I must have been checking the camera when I was counting. I misspoke. I only made 9 pink tiles, so I actually just need to quickly undo this. This one right here should be pink, so let me just pull the white back. Okay, I'm going to get that loop right there back on my hook. Okay, that's why really important to make sure that you're counting your tiles as you go. Okay, so I just need to make another pink tile here, and then my last one will be white. Okay, sorry about that. So that's 1, 2, 3. And you know, a visual that should have clued me into that being incorrect is if you look here, my last pink tile should be connected to or joined to the white because the one below it is white. So that alone should have clued me in that I was doing it wrong. So, all right, so once again, this is the wrong side of my work, which means I'm going to join with my new color closer to me, okay? Go ahead and join your white yarn. Move the pink out of the way and keep the working yarns on the wrong side of your work, okay? So rather than, again, leaving the pink in the front, I'm going to make sure it's over here to the side, okay? Join with the slip stitch, chain 2, and make your 3 double crochet. Okay, here we go. All right. So we have our 3, our 10 pink, and then our last tile is white, okay? So now I'm going to draw my line for the next row. Okay, and remember, I go past the tiles with my line right here to show me that I'm working in this direction. Just helps me. All right, so go ahead and begin row 15 with your chain 5. Make your 3 double crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3. Oops. Pulled through too many loops there. I apologize for the noise. The hammering in the background. Okay, go ahead and join your tile. Okay. So our first tile is white, so now we need to switch to pink. Okay, so our pink is going to be joined behind the white. So now we are working, this is the right side, this is the front, the piece that we're going to be looking at, okay? This is the wrong side, this is the right side, okay? So I am going to join the new color behind the color I'm currently working with. So I'm going to take that pink yarn, pull it up, and make sure that it's joined behind the white, okay? So I have the white in front of it. Okay, you see the whites right here in front. Okay, go ahead and tighten those. And I do need to carry the white yarn with me. So I'm going to chain 2 with my pink. And then I'm going to work over the white yarn. Again, it's going to just, we're going to carry it right back down. 2, 3. Okay. So our first tile is white, and then our second tile is pink. Okay. So you're going to continue working down the side, carrying the white yarn with you. So join, chain 2, and make your 3 double crochet. Make sure that white yarn goes with you. One, 2, 3. Join, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Oops. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull that white yarn tight because now it's sort of getting in my way. Okay, again, not too tight. You just want it basically laying flat and you're working over it, okay? So I have my chain 2 already. I'm going to make my 3 double crochet. I'm going to go ahead and count and see how many of the pink I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Counted more carefully that time. Okay. Join, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay. Join, chain 2, 3 double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, go ahead and work all the way down until you have 11 pink tiles. Make sure that you're taking that white yarn with you. Okay, so look, super messy. All you need to do is gently pull on it, and there you have it, back to normal. Okay, let me count my tiles, my pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to mark those off. 1, okay, and now I'm going to join my white yarn. And again, this is the right side of my work, so when you have, for the right side, I'm going to keep the pink yarn in the front and join the white yarn in the back. So the working yarn, when you join a new color, the working yarn is always towards the right side, okay? So I'm joining my new yarn behind it, and then I don't want this pink in the front here. I want to move it back now. And I'm not taking it with me. I don't need it anymore. It'll be here when we begin our next row. Okay, so now I'm just going to use my white yarn, and I'm going to make my last 3 tiles in white. I'm going to join, and then I can go ahead and tighten that up. Join, chain 2, and I'll make my 3 double crochet. Join, chain 2, 3 double crochet. 2 tiles. Making my last tile, I join, chain 2, and I make my 3 double crochet. Okay. All right, and this is what our work is looking like. So here we have it. Here's the tip of the heart. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw the line for my next row. I'm gonna do one more row on camera, and then I'll let you do the next, after this row, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you can do the next 5 rows off camera, just so I can make this a little bit shorter. Those are all increasing rows that are going to be worked the same way as the ones we have been doing. There will be no difference. And then after that, I'll meet back up with you and I'll show you how to decrease. So we're going to do one more row together though, okay? So we just finished row 15. Now we're beginning row 16. And we're going to be working on the wrong side again, okay? So go ahead and chain 5. And make your 3 double crochet for your first tile. Okay, and then we need 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're making 4 white tiles. Okay, so join, chain 2. 3 double crochet, 1, okay, so I have those first 4 tiles made. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need to join my pink. We're carrying our white yarn with us because we do need it up here. So remember, this is the wrong side. So for the right side, when you join a new color, the current color is always closer to the right side. I don't know if that makes sense. This is the right side, this is the wrong side. Because this is the right side, we're going to keep the white yarn in the back and join the pink in the front for us. That way the working yarn is on the right side. I really hope that makes sense. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and chain 2. And you can tighten that up. Oops, I forgot to join it. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. I do that all the time. Okay, so I had, this is where I just was. So I'm going to join my pink. Okay. And now I need to make my slip stitch. Okay, and again, you're just carrying that white yarn right with you. So join with your slip stitch. I had just made a chain 2. I forgot to join first. Okay, tighten that white yarn, chain 2, and then make your 3 crochet, working right over the white yarn, carrying it with you. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you can see here, you can sort of see where it was joined, but then from this side, it looks nice and neat, okay? All right, and then we need, let's see here. Let's see how many pink tiles we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, okay? So we go right back up working up this side, and we'll have 11 pink tiles. I apologize, it's so squeaky. Okay, I'm going to count and see how many I have. Looks like had pulled that a little bit too tight. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think I needed 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So one more pink tile. And when I post this pattern on my blog, I will have the written pattern as well. So if it's easier for you to just read, it would say like row 16, 4 white, 11 pink, 1 white. And that would just be the instructions for row 16. So if that is easier for you than seeing the visual of the graph, you can always follow along to that as well. And that will be linked below as soon as I have it posted on my blog. 2, 3. For me personally, I like the visual of the graph, but I'm a very visual person, so it just helps me to see it. Okay, so now we have our 11 pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need 1 white. And again, this is the wrong side. We have the right side here. This is the right side, this is the wrong side. So the pink, the working yarn, will stay on the right side and I'll join the new yarn on the wrong side, okay? And then you want that pink back over on this side. so all the yarn tails stay on the wrong side, and then join, chain 2, and make your 3 double crochet. All right, there we go. So we have completed row 16 together. Okay, so this is what it looks like now from the front. Okay. And I'm wondering maybe if I'd been pulling that white yarn a little too tight. It looks like I might have to block my work. My lines are not completely straight, but that's okay if that happens, as long as it's not too extreme. You can always correct that later by blocking it when you're completely done. But so now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and complete the next few rows. So let me go ahead and draw the lines so you know exactly which ones I'm going to be doing off camera. So row 17. And this is, this is row 18. Row 19. Row 20. These are all worked exactly the same way. They're all increased rows, so all of them are going to begin with that chain 5 at the beginning. And there's nothing funny going on here. You start with white, no matter which way you're working, and your pink are in the middle. Okay, so go ahead and complete your work through round 21. I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll meet up with you to show you how to start decreasing. So what we'll do is this is still going to grow a bit, and then I'll show you how to make it so it becomes a square. Okay? Okay, so you guys have completed through row 21. So have I here. So now I'm going to show you how to begin row 22. As you can see here, we are at the widest point of our graph. So now we need to make sure that our squares are moving upwards. And this is called decreasing, because we'll be decreasing each row until we end up with just one tile left. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So normally at this point, you would chain 5 and then begin a new tile. But what we're going to do instead, you're going to turn your work. We are going to slip stitch in the top of each of those 3 double crochet. And that's going to move our yarn over, and our next tile will be made in the side, okay? Usually that would be your second tile. Usually you would have 1 and then 2. We are going to slip stitch over, and our first tile will be here, which will make our work move in this direction, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch over. And we'll be making a border around the edge, so don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. Okay, I slip stitched in the top of those 3. It's very important that you don't skip any of those, because if you slip stitch, if you get lazy, and I have done this, where I'll just slip stitch in one of them and then in the side here, your work is going to pull, it'll cinch it. So make sure that you are slip stitching in each of those 3 double crochet, and then into that chain space, which is where you would normally slip stitch, okay? So now we are on the side, and now you're just going to continue as usual until you get to the end, and then I'll show you again what to do there, okay? So now we're going to chain 2 and make our 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and let's see here. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white tiles. That's 2. 3, 4, 5 and our last white tile for down here. Okay, all right, so I'm going to mark off those 5 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 6, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Oh, looks like I knew that. Sorry. All right, so now we've made our 6 white tiles. I apologize. So now, once again, we're working the wrong side. So when I join the new color, it gets joined behind because we want the current color to be in the front on the right side. Okay. And again, we need to carry that white yarn with us. And now we're making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pink tiles. Okay, and since you have been doing this so much, go ahead and make your 11 pink tiles. I will speed this up so that it doesn't take as long, and then we'll meet back up and I'll show you at the end how to make this side. It's the exact same. We do it the exact same way, but I'll show you again. Okay, so now we need to begin the white. I finished the pink part, and again, this we're working the wrong side, so the pink working yarn will stay in the front there, and I will join the new color behind it on the wrong side, and then pull that pink over. Okay, I'm going to join my white, make my slip stitch, and then I need 1, 2, 3 white tiles. Actually, I could have done this off camera too, but that's okay. 3, okay, join, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, all right, so we've made our last 3 tiles for row 21, and now we need to start decreasing the top. Okay, so you're still going to join with the slip stitch, okay, and then turn your work, and this is done exactly the same way. It's a little awkward here with the yarn. Pull it over, okay, so we need to move it over, so we are going to slip stitch once in each of those 3 double crochet there. And again, don't skip any of them. Don't be lazy like I did, and because then your work will cinch up and it'll look a little weird. You want it to be end up as square as possible, okay? So we did our 3 slip stitches, slip stitch in the side, and you slip stitch in the side just like you normally would. So normally you would join or slip stitch in that chain space. So after those 3 slip stitches in the double crochet across the top, just slip stitch in the side like you normally would, and then continue like you normally would. Make your chain 2, make your 3 double crochet, and follow your graph, okay? So that's it. It's actually really easy to decrease the sides, and you'll find that it starts to get smaller and smaller very quickly, okay? So that's all you're going to do to complete. So I'm going to let you off to finish the rest of this, and then I'll show you how to finish off the very last few. It's actually really simple. But I did want to check something because I want to make sure that there's no spots where you need to worry about carrying your pink yarn back and forth. So just give me one moment. I'm going to make these lines here. Okay, so let's see. So you'll be crocheting your pink yarn this way. You're carrying the white back and forth. Let me check this next row. I was worried there might be a row where you leave your yarn and then you need to carry the pink back down with you, but I actually think you'll be okay. So you'd be working this way. Yep. I think this will all work out just fine. And if anything is different, if I notice anything after I complete it, I will have that in the notes for you, so you'll know right now anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. Remember, you're decreasing. Just slip stitch in the sides of those 3 stitches. Make those slip stitches, and then business as usual. Follow your graph. And I will meet back up with you when we get to the very end, and then I'll show you how to put a border around your crochet. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to make the last square, and then I'll show you how to make the border. Okay, so when you get to this point, I made my 3 slip stitches down the side of that tile there. So now I'm going to slip stitch. Oops, sorry, I think I might have already done that step. Okay, let's just pull this back out. I'm going to slip stitch into the side of the tile, just like you have been doing for all of your decreases. Okay, I need to redo this one here. Okay, into the side. Okay, make my chain 2 and my 3 double crochet. One. Sorry, the yarn is squeaky. 2, 3. Okay, and then you're just going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that tile there. And you are done now with the pixel graph. So now I'm going to show you how to make the border. So I'm going to go ahead, I want to do my border in pink, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this yarn. You'll have to weave in all of your ends. Okay, and you want to make sure that you're working with your right side facing you. And I'm going to start in this corner over here and start your hook. And what we'll be doing is in each corner, you're going to make 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet. And then we'll be crocheting down the side of our work. I'll show you how to do that. But in the first corner, I'm going to make 1 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet, and then when I get back to the end, I will make that last single crochet in that corner, okay? So you join your yarn, chain 1, 1 single crochet, chain 2, and then 2 single crochet, all in that same space for the corner. And you'll see that that chain 2 is what will help make it look like a corner, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to single crochet down the side loosely. I'm going to make a single crochet between each tile, chain 1, and then single crochet again between the next set of tiles, okay? Now you don't want to do this too tightly, but you're just making chain 1, single crochet between each set of tiles all the way down each side, okay? Chain 1. Okay, so go ahead and finish crocheting down the side here. Okay, chain 1 and then single crochet once between each set of tiles. And again, don't crochet too tightly. Try to do it loosely. More loosely, not too loose, but you just don't want to cinch your work. You don't want to be pulling it tight. Okay, go ahead and do this until you get to that next corner. All right, so here I have reached the next corner. So I'm going to work into this corner space here. 1, 2 single crochet, chain 2, and then another 2 single crochet. 1, 2, and again that chain 2 helps create that corner, and then chain 1 and continue working down the side of your work. And again, just like before, chain 1, single crochet once between each set of tiles. Okay? Chain 1. All right, so you're just going to go ahead and do the same thing for each side. Chain 1, single crochet between those tiles, just like this. In the corners, chain 2, or excuse me, 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet. So you have 2 more corners here that have not been worked yet. And then when you get to the last corner that you started with, remember you still need to add 1 more single crochet, and then you can finish off your work. Okay? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me see here, my measuring tape. So this levy ends up being about, I do need to block it, about 11 inches. So most levies are squares between 10 and 12 inches. So this is a perfect size. You could always use this as maybe the cover of a pillow if you don't want it to be a levy, or wall art, or the side of the tote bag, or you could even make this one tile of a larger blanket. There are so many different uses for this tile. It could be something that you use for Valentine's Day. If you guys have any other ideas of what to do with this, I would love if you comment below and let me know. So please give this video a thumbs up if you found this tutorial helpful. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. Thank you.